guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today starts another reading vlog, so stay tuned. So it is Monday, August 31st, which means it is the last day of, well, officially the last day of the N.E.W.T.s and the last day really of any of these magical readathons. They are done, or at least the Harry Potter inspired ones, and I'm really looking forward to what G comes up with next for her own take on this magical readathon. Well, I mean, the whole magical readathon was her own take, but she's creating a whole new world so that it's not Harry Potter based, which I'm excited for. But if you watched last week's vlog, then you know that at the end, I still had one prompt left. And I was going to do that with Stolen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. This was to read a book with the author's first or last name started with the letter D. And I don't think I can get this done today. So instead I picked up Black Mage by Daniel Barnes and DJ Kirkland, which also seemed very fitting considering the N.E.W.T.s. So I went into this thinking it was like a Black Harry Potter. Not at all. There is a magic school, I guess you could say similar to Hogwarts, but not, because St. Ivory Academy is all white. Our main character here, Tom Token, that's actually his name, he's apparently the first black mage allowed into this school, and it turns out that St. Ivory Academy is for spellcraft and sorcery is run by the KKK. Yeah, so this is like a over-the-top racist. It's, yeah. Some selling points for this. We have explores racism in a fantasy setting. There's much more going on than meets the eye when a historically white wizarding school finally admits its first black student under a special magical minority initiative program. Yeah. Heavily influenced by anime, manga, and video games, the art style is extremely reminiscent of fan favorite Japanese style media like the Final Fantasy games and Sailor Moon. And it's On Voices. This is an On Voices YA graphic novel. I absolutely loved the art style. It's so cute. Yes, this is the headmaster. Yeah. It's something. I think I'd give this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was over the top. It was like very obvious, in your face. It's 100% like pretty much any racist anything they included in this. And it actually starts out with Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass fighting against the KKK. And then there's also John Henry that comes in to kind of save the day, and yeah. Interesting. But also very fitting for the way the world is currently. And there was an obvious Trump thing in here talking about making Ivory Academy great again. Yeah. So with this one, I did manage to complete my last prompt for the N.E.W.T., so I'm done with that. I'm probably going to start Stolen at some point today. I do need to get this read. Hopefully it'll be a quick read. It's only 284 pages, so yeah, I'm hoping I can get through this soon. I may pick up another graphic novel today just because this was one that I won from a Goodreads giveaway not too terribly long ago. Well, it arrived not too terribly long ago. It's been a while since I won it, but I got like a email or something saying, have you read it? Did you like it? So I need to read it. And that is The Daughter of Wise by M.T. Anderson and Joe Rio, or Rowe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, but this came out in May of 2020, and it's a very interesting art style. I think it's really pretty, and ooh, I'm looking forward to reading this. And so hopefully I can get through this today as well, but we'll see. Also today I have to start my buddy read of Entwined by Heather Dixon. I've already got it all tabbed out for what we need to read. I'm supposed to read to page 73 of this today. And then as for the rest of the week, so this week I need to complete these, but I also would like to complete these. So I don't know if I'll get it all done. I just like to get as much of this done this week as possible, because I tried to split my reading up so that this week is pretty much all of the books that are not going to fit into prompts for readathons. And then next week I'm going to try to do all of my Becca's Bookoplathon books in 1 week. And then the following week is I'm going to try to squeeze in all of the books for the Adventures Through Wonderland readathon. And then the following week is the Fall into Reading-a-thon. Yeah, it's gonna be another crazy month. But fingers crossed that I can do it. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go. I have a video that I need to finish editing and upload, and then I need to get some reading done, and I also have appointments to go to today. So I will talk to you later. Okay, so there was a slight change in my reading plan. So I was saying before that I was going to do the Becca's Bookopoly stuff. I was going to try to do it all in 1 week. But the way I have things split up, I had no audiobook for this week. And I like to constantly have an audiobook. And I couldn't find an audiobook for any of the things that I wanted to read this week. So I'm taking at least one of the books from the Becca's Bookoplathon, or Becca's Bookoplathon, and putting it this week, and then moving one from this week to next week. So I started listening to the audiobook of Time of Our Lives by Emily Wibberley and Austin Stegman-Broca. And I don't know where exactly I am in this. Not very far into it because I haven't been listening to it much. But when I'm driving and stuff, I want to have an audiobook. So yeah, started listening to this. And all I know about this so far is we have Fitz and Juniper, and it's told from each of their perspectives, and they're like on college tours, and I'm guessing they meet. Though Juniper has a boyfriend that she's traveling with, and Fitz is traveling with his brother. So I don't know how this comes to be, so we'll see. I haven't gotten to that part yet. They're literally just getting started on their college road trip. They haven't seen their first schools yet. And I also started physically reading Entwined just while I was like in a waiting room. So I'm only like on page 26 right now. But I got these from Amazon, and they're like these pretty cherry blossom vines. I forget how many I got, 4 or 5 or something like that. And I wanted to decorate around this like entry into the library. And I went and I bought a staple gun because I couldn't find ours. And I'm going to do that now. So I thought I'd film that. Please ignore the mess. Okay, so the first staple gun that I bought was broken, and I could only get it to do a couple of staples, so I had to take it back and return it. And I got a different staple gun, and then I got home and took it out, like unpackaged it, and there were no staples in it, and the staples we had would fit the other one, but not this one. So Marty had to go back to the store and get me staples, and then by the time he got back, we had to cook dinner and eat dinner. So now I'm just getting back to this. So let's continue. Didn't it turn out so pretty? I love it. Unfortunately, the staple gun that I got is too hard for me to squeeze. I couldn't squeeze it. So I kept going up and putting pieces of tape where I wanted Marty to staple it, and he would go up and staple it. I'm gonna have to return that staple gun too because it's just too hard. So I haven't really had anything to vlog the past couple of days. That's why you got some kitty footage. I have mostly just been editing and running errands and that kind of thing. So I didn't really have much to talk about because I wasn't getting a whole lot of reading done. But today I got a lot of reading done. So let me start out with, I finished listening to Time of Our Lives by Emily Wibberley and Austin Segman-Broca. And I think I've given all of their books up to this point 5 stars. I've really enjoyed them. This one I'm gonna give 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I'm not one that likes an open-ended really ending. I like my endings nice and neat in a nice little neat little package, and I didn't really get that with this. So we have Fitz and Juniper, and they're both on their separate college tours. Fitz is begrudgingly on a college tour with his brother that he's not very close with, and he really doesn't want to be there because he has no intention of going to school somewhere away from home. He wants to be home. He wants to be with his mom because his mom, she got test results back that said that she was guaranteed to get early onset Alzheimer's, which her mother had had. And ever since then, Fitz has been there to, want to take care of her and want to make sure she remembers things. And he doesn't want to go and leave and go to a school far away where he can't be there with her as she starts losing her memory. And then Juniper, she has a very, overbearing kind of family, and is one of 6 children, and lives with her aunt and her mom and dad, and it's just kind of like chaos. And her aunt especially makes her feel very guilty for wanting to go to school away, but she wants to kind of escape this family, like this overbearing family. She loves them very much, but she wants to find herself and do this for herself, and some of her family don't really agree with that and feel like she's being very selfish by doing this. And along the way, Fitz and Juniper meet, and in the beginning, Jupiter's actually on her college trip with her high school boyfriend, and they each have their own individual stories going on as well. Fitz has got his story with his mother. He's also got this relationship with his brother that is sort of estranged, and they're working through some of their issues throughout this trip. And then Juniper is traveling with Matt, her boyfriend from high school, and they're kind of learning that they're both on 2 separate paths when it comes time for college. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but I was just a little meh about the end. So that's why I'm giving this 4 stars. I've also continued my buddy read of Entwined by Heather Dixon. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and I'm currently on page 266 of this. So I won't be finishing this until the end of the week, so I'll tell you more about it then. But I'm enjoying it so far. Tonight, Marty and I started Sentience by Courtney P. Hunter. This is an ARC. It comes out, I believe it's in October. I'll put the date down here for you, or I'll put like the promotional stuff she sent me up here. But this is like an AI experiment, and it's interesting. We're only on page 48, so we've only just gotten started. And then, oh, where's the cover? Hold on. I spent the majority of my day reading Cure for the Common Universe by Christian McKay Heidecker, and I'm really enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. But again, I'll tell you more about it when I finish it. But right now, I'm on page 237, so I only have this much left, and I expect to be able to finish that tomorrow. I had a big day of reading today, and it was fabulous. So I'm hoping tomorrow to have another day very similar, and I can finish reading this. I do have my little walk/run tomorrow and my ab workout. And tomorrow evening, Xander has a football game, but he just wants us to drop him off this time. So we're going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to read this, and I don't know which one I'm going to pick up next. Either New World Rising or York. I think I might go with York next, just because even though it's a bigger book, I mean, it is middle grade, and like the text is on the larger side and stuff. So I feel like this will be a quick read, and I'd like to try to get as much of it read as possible. So I think I might be able to finish, I don't know. I'll try to finish this tomorrow, maybe. But it is Friday night, so I don't have to wake up as early. So I can maybe stay up and finish reading that. And then I need another audiobook. And I don't know which one I'm going to use. I think I'm going to go for another one that's going to be quick. And this is one from Becca's Bookoplathon. And that's Clicked by Tamara Ireland Stone. This one's a middle grade. And I found it on Scribd, I think. Anyway, it's like a 5-hour audiobook or something like that. Oh, there's stuff in the back. Hold on. Oh, there's coding activities. Neat. Oh, and hold on. I also have a package here and my Sipsby box. So let me show you these. So in my Sipsby box, well, this is my September teas. And oh my gosh, next week I'm going to have so many teas, it's ridiculous, because I have like a bunch of limited edition boxes. and they're all going to be in next week's vlog. Yeah, I'm not going to taste test all of them because there's going to be a whole lot of them coming, but I'm excited to show them all to you. Okay, so this is for September. It says, although it's still warm in most places, it's beginning to feel a lot like fall to us, maybe wishful thinking. We're excited for scented candles, beautiful leaves, and of course, all the cups of tea. So what they sent for me is, I've got this Apricot Sunrise by N.E.W.T.s. And y'all know I love me a fruity tea, so I'm excited for these. I may have one of these in the morning. Yes, that's a high caffeine one, so that'll probably be a morning one. Also, there is a 15% off code with Sipsby for that one. And then I have two, I think these are loose leaf, but they came in like smaller packs. This is Raspberry Truffle Yerba Mate with Chocolate and Almonds by Pinky Up. And oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I'm excited to try these. Ooh. And this says, it just says contains caffeine. And it's a low calorie. Cool, cool, cool. Also 15% off with code SIPSBY. I'm excited to try that one too. I love when I get like the little monthly boxes because they're curated to me specifically. The limited edition boxes are fun because, well, they're for specific things. But as far as like my preferences, they're such a hit with these monthly boxes. If you don't know, you take a little quiz, you tell them your likes, your don't likes, and they curate a box specifically for you. And then when you get your teas and you try them out, you can actually rate them, and they will like tweak your boxes in the future. So that if you find, like, I didn't know anything about tea when I started this, and I just kind of was like, I'll take anything. And then I've learned, okay, these are things I don't like, these are things I really do like. And for the most part, these boxes are so good now because they know me. Okay, next we have this Tulsi Turmeric Rubios, stress relieving and exotic, and this is caffeine free by Organic India. This one I'm not sure about because turmeric's kind of been a hit or miss. I know it's like good for the skin and stuff, but I don't know. And this one has 20% off with code SIPSBY2020. And then the last tea in here is, ooh, Organic Queen of Tarts. Fruity, tart, and invigorating. Yummy! This one is low caffeine. Oh, the Tulsi Turmeric one was caffeine free. I think I said that though. Anyway, this one's low caffeine, and there's a 20% off with code SIPS-BY-DAVID's tea. So, excited to try this one too. And when they give you loose leaf tea, they give you this little cute drawstring bag that has individual, hold on, let me pull one out. These little disposable drawstring tea bags. So I'll definitely try some of these out over the next couple of days. And then in this package here is a book that I pre-ordered, and it arrived on Tuesday. And it's The Lost Book of White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. And this is the second book in the Eldest Curses series. And it's thin, like, I'm surprised. So it's 368 pages, but there's also another bonus story featuring Tessa and Jim in the back here. And I've seen this show up on some things online, probably on Twitter. But the book jacket is actually a reversible book jacket. Isn't that pretty? I like both jackets, like, a lot. But this side goes with the rest of the books. So yay, I'm excited to have this. Don't know when I'm going to get around to reading it, but I'm excited to have it. I'm all caught up on all my Cassandra Clare, so this is the next one I need to read when I have time. Okay, it's late, so I'm going to go to bed. and I'll talk to you tomorrow. So Marty and I are out and about in town. We actually have Katniss in here with us, but I don't know how loud the car is with the air conditioning going, but it's too hot to not have it going, so sorry. But we just went to Dunkin Donuts and got every new fall thing that they have. So we have an iced latte with oat milk. We have a iced pumpkin coffee, and we have their signature iced pumpkin spice latte. We also have snacks as well. So I got their pumpkin muffin. I got their, I think it's pumpkin spice donut holes. They also have a donut, but it's the same thing. And then they have their apple cider donuts slash donut holes, and I got the donut holes. And then I also got, it's a maple bacon egg cheddar croissant sandwich, which I don't know if that's a fall thing or not, but I figured I might want something that's more real food and not just sweets. So Marty's gonna help me taste test everything. Okay, I'm gonna start with this iced latte with oat milk. It tastes like, to me, like a regular iced coffee, but the oat milk seems like it's just a little bit thicker. Like it's a little creamier.
Yeah, maybe.
I particularly like a sweet drink, so that one's like just on the verge of, could be too sweet, could be, I mean not too sweet, could be just right as far as the sweetness, but almost too bitter. Okay, next up we have the pumpkin iced latte. This is just like a, I think it's like a regular iced coffee with 4 pumps of pumpkin. Oh, that's good. I like that. What do you think?
It's alright.
Just alright?
Yeah. Though I'm not a huge pumpkin fan.
Okay, then we have the signature pumpkin spice latte. And I'm stirring it up because there's like syrupy stuff at the bottom here. And we got whipped cream and all that good stuff at top. That's really good. It's like the other one, but way creamier. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah. Just like a milkshake going. It's good.
So which one do you like the best? That one?
Yeah.
I think kind of I'm leaning towards that one, but also there's like a huge difference too in the calories. Like I would be perfectly fine with this one, and it's like 180 calories, where this one is like 540 calories. I can't remember this one. I want to say it was like 220, 240, something like that. That is really good though. Okay. Now we have our pumpkin muffin. Do you want a bag to eat under? I'm getting crumbs everywhere. I'm gonna have to like shake my person out after this. Okay, so the top's really good and crumbly, and the bottom is so soft. Wow, this bottom is just like a hair thicker than pumpkin pie. Like, it tastes like pumpkin pie as it's like kind of dissolving in your mouth. It tastes like you're eating pumpkin pie. Oh, this is so good. Your thoughts? I absolutely love pumpkin pie. So this is so good. Okay. I do not like the oat milk one with this. Ooh, at all. Okay. It's good with the pumpkin spice iced coffee, or the pumpkin iced coffee. It's really good with their signature pumpkin spiced iced latte. Okay, to kind of mix up the flavors a little, we'll do the apple cider donut holes next. Cheers. They're kind of bland.
They're not bad.
They don't have a whole lot of flavor to them. Next we have the pumpkin spice donut holes. Cheers. To me that one tastes better, but it's like the glaze on it is really good. But the actual donut doesn't have a huge amount of flavor. Not like the muffin. Like the muffin was awesome. Highly recommend the muffin. And then, oh, this smells so good. We have the maple, what is it? Maple bacon breakfast sandwich or something like that. So we got a fried egg, bacon. Yummy. And some lipstick. It's good. Good breakfast sandwich. I don't really think that was a fall thing though. It was more of a, I wanted something that wasn't just going to be sweet. But that's it as far as our check-in. We're going to be out of the house for a couple of hours and brought our book. So after munching, I'll continue reading. And I'll talk to you later. Also, we're going on a date tonight, which is really, Marty and I are just going out to dinner and ice cream later. Yeah, cheating on the diet real big today, but it's fine. Hi, Marty.
Hi.
So good. You can't get anything through yours?
Broke the straw.
You get a new straw? So I didn't do all the reading that I kind of wanted to do yesterday. I did get reading done. I just didn't get the specific reading done that I intended to do. Hold on, I'm missing one of my books. Okay, so while we were out and about, I did actually bring Entwined along with me to continue working on my buddy read. And I got to page 346, so I'm right here. I haven't done today's reading. I'm not sure if I'll get around to it. Maybe I will. At least today's reading, which would be this right here. But I did that yesterday. I'm really enjoying this. It's getting really dark. It's been pretty dark from the beginning, but I am enjoying it. And another thing that I did a lot of reading of yesterday was Sentience by Courtney P. Hunter. Marty and I are reading this. I don't know if I told you about this. This is sort of like a competition type thing. It gives me like Hunger Games vibes, but it's adult. And we have this group of 20 people. They're all put into this experiment into this place called Eden. Very much like the thing in Hunger Games. But you have 20 people, and of those 20, I think it was 3 or 4, I can't remember, of them are actually AI, and they're made to look and act and all that like a human. And it's kind of up to all of these people to determine who's AI and who's not. You know, who shows human characteristics, who shows human emotion and reactions, and that's the thing. It's a Turing test to see how well these AI can actually, I guess, mimic humans. And so far, we've had a couple of guesses on who we think the AIs are, but really we don't have a clue. And already we've had one disaster where the cliff kind of fell out from under them, and this girl fell and broke her leg. And this was like the very first day, and they thought, okay, they're gonna take her out of this simulation or whatever, this experiment, to help her because she's like seriously hurt. But they don't, and this group's having to care for her, and they have some medical supplies, but really she needs surgery and they can't really do that. And they have like antibiotics, they have morphine, things like that, but they're just trying to do the best they can. At this point, we're on day 3 of this, so man, a lot of stuff has gone down in these first little bit. So they get to their first location and they have sort of a get to know you welcoming party, and stuff goes down during this time. People are kind of hooking up, people are battling it out, things, you know, it's very, very tense. And the next day they are given their next location that they're supposed to go to and their first task that they have to complete. So they complete their task that day, and on day 3 they're working on going to their next location, which is really far, and they have like a little map to follow, and they're trying to find their way through this terrain. Really enjoying it so far. It's well written. The only thing is there are 20 different characters to keep up with. Some play a bigger part than others, so some you don't really hear of often, but it can get a little bit confusing with so many characters. Also, the names of a lot of these characters are very strange, but other than that, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And then yesterday I did manage to complete Cure for the Common Universe by Christian McKay Heidecker. Okay, so this is about a kid, a boy, like a high school boy. I don't know what his exact age is, but he's like a video game nerd, and he stays holed up in his bedroom all the time. It's summer break. He's spending all of his free time playing video games, kind of cutting the rest of the world off. Though he is a smart kid, like in school he's got a 4.0, so that's kind of the deal he's made with his dad. As long as his grades are good, he lets him play these video games. But I guess his dad's gotten remarried to this girl who's literally like 4 years older than our main character. So he has issues with her, and she has issues with him playing these video games and not exercising and all this stuff. And well, the dad and the stepmother, they end up committing him to video game rehab. However, the day that this goes down, he has met this girl. He's taken the stepmom's car to the car wash and he's washing it, and he ends up meeting a girl, and she's this beautiful girl, and she actually laughs at the things he says, and she agrees to go on a date with him, his first ever date. And then when he arrives back home, his computer's being taken away, and there are these 2 giant guys there to haul him off to video game rehab. And he tries to convince his dad, like, hey, I'm gonna go into the real world. I have a date. But his dad doesn't believe him. And he gets to this video game rehab, and there's they sort of incorporate it like it's a game, and they have to earn experience points in order to get out. So they get points for making healthy choices for food and for doing this exercise or this or that, learning a new skill, just different things. And in order to be released, they have to earn 1 million XP. Apparently the average of how long it takes to earn this amount of XP is about 4 weeks, though the fastest person has done it in 2 weeks. And his date is in 4 days, so it's his goal to try to earn 1 million points in 4 days so he can get out and get back in time for his date. It was a lot of fun. There were a lot of video game references, and having played several of these video games, especially like the Final Fantasy games, I understood a lot of these references and then I enjoyed it. Though I do want to say that even though this is YA, I just smacked myself in the nose with the book. Even though this is YA, it kind of gave me more like middle grade vibes. Really, the only exception that I could see for this being YA versus middle grade is the fact that they're able to drive. That's it. The language, I have heard middle schoolers use this kind of language, especially when it comes to video games. But other than that, really, this gave like the maturity level of middle grade, I think. The way it ended kind of left me meh. I was a little disappointed. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the ending. It just seemed kind of flat to me. So in the end, I give this 3.5s, but I did really enjoy it. And then today I finished listening to Clicked by Tamara Ireland Stone. And this is middle grade, but it actually works the opposite way of this, because I could see this being more YA than middle grade. Really, the only thing that made this middle grade was the fact that they're in 7th grade. But really, they could have been in 10th or 11th grade for what was going on in here and how they acted, how they talked, relationships, all of that. This, I could have easily been a YA. And I loved it. It was really, really cute. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And I would give this 4 stars. It's about a girl who, she spent the summer at like this girls' coding camp, and she created this app called Clicked that is sort of like a friendship app where they answer a bunch of like questionnaire type stuff, and it matches you with other people that are on the app that you will click with, that you have a lot in common with and you're likely to be very good friends with. And then once you click with somebody, it doesn't tell you right away who you're clicked with. It gives you kind of hints. So when you get within a certain distance of somebody, then your phone will flash blue and it'll go bloop. When you get closer, it'll flash yellow and it'll go bloop bloop. And when you're like really, really close to them, it'll flash red and it'll go bloop bloop bloop. And you get together and you tap your phones together and it goes woohoo, and opens up the camera app. You take a selfie and it shares it with everybody on the Clicked app. A new friendship. And there's also like this whole leaderboard to see like how high up your matches are and things like that. Oh, also when it flashes red, it gives you a hint of who the person is by taking a picture from their Instagram feed and showing you that picture to kind of give you an idea of who it is. It's a big hit. Everybody loves it. The app goes just viral. But then there's a glitch and it starts sharing pictures not just from Instagram, but from people's own personal photos, which gets a little tricky, and people's secrets start coming out and it gets to be a big problem. Also, she's trying to compete in this Games for Good competition, and her app's having a lot of trouble before this competition comes up. And there's also her sort of arch nemesis that's in this competition as well. and he's created this amazing app, and this was just a super cute story. I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it, and I give it 4 stars. So today I haven't had a whole lot of time to read just because I've been editing and running around and stuff. Well, part of the reading of Sentience actually happened today. I did part of it yesterday and part of it today while we were running around. But I did start York, as I mentioned before. I was saying I wanted to like try to get this done yesterday, and I didn't even start it. But today I am on page 53 of this, so I've only gotten just a teeny tiny bit done. But I'm probably going to, at least until I go to sleep, I'm going to work on my reading for N.E.W.T.s today, and then if I have any time remaining, then I will read York. Also, we were going to do like a screening party for Mulan tonight, but Xander ended up going to spend the night with a friend, so we're just going to do it another night. Alright, so I'm going to go and read, and I will talk to you later. Yeah, it's Monday. So last night I was sitting there reading and I was so tired. Like yesterday I did a lot of running and walking, and I literally did over 8 miles yesterday. So I was exhausted, and when I was sitting in my comfy chair trying to read, I couldn't stay awake. I was so tired. And so I ended up going to bed at like 8 o'clock last night, and I was going to do this little wrap up before I went to bed, but I was too tired. So I ended up going to bed at like 8 o'clock, and I slept for 11 hours. Like, I didn't get up till 7 o'clock this morning. I mean, I think I woke up a couple of times, but I kept going back to sleep because yeah, I was tired. But I did complete a book yesterday. So I completed my buddy read of Entwined by Heather Dixon, and I really enjoyed this. I give it 4 stars. This is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. This is dark, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it starts out sad. Like, the princesses, their mother dies, and this is at the beginning. Their mother dies. The king, their father, is not handling his grief very well. He goes off to war, and the girls are stuck to kind of care for themselves for the most part, and they're in mourning, so all their clothes are black, the drapes are drawn, and they're forbidden to dance, and they love dancing. It's the only thing that makes them feel a little bit better, and it makes them feel closer to their mother. And they're in this castle or this palace that was once magicked by this high king, and there are some magic passages, and the girls, they find one of these passages, and it leads them to this beautiful silvery forest with this beautiful pavilion and this very interesting man, and they're able to dance the night away, and it's glorious for them. But this man is known as the Keeper, or Mr. Keeper, and he likes to keep things, and that becomes a problem. And I can't really say anything more than that, but I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend. And that was the only other thing that I completed. So I'm kind of behind on where I need to be this week. I need to have averaged, well, I need to, on average, read about 6 books a week in order to complete everything I need to complete. And this week I only completed 4 books. These 2, Time of Our Lives and Clicked, were for Becca's Bookoplathon, and Cure for the Common Universe, and I think Entwined. I know the Cure for the Common Universe was, but I'm not sure about Entwined. I think those were from my Have I Read It Yet. And then I did get some other reading done, but I just didn't complete anything else. So yesterday I did start The Perfect Husband by Lisa Gardner. This is a thriller about All I know is that this woman, her ex-husband was like a decorated cop, and she had his kid, and maybe wasn't the best relationship, but she tried her best. And then she discovered that he was murdering these women, and she had him put in jail for the deaths of these 10 women. And now he's escaped from prison and he's coming after her. I got to page 80 of this. And then Marty and I were reading Sentience by Courtney P. Hunter. This comes out in October. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm reading this out loud to Marty because normally Marty and I, we do audiobooks together and we'll like play it in the car or whatever, but I've been bringing this along and just reading it out loud. We're currently on page 98 of this, so about a third of the way through. And then I also started York by Laura Ruby. This is about, well, it's sort of a past and present kind of thing. So in the past, these twins, the Morningstar twins, they created all these amazing buildings and machines and things for New York, and they're like super techie, like super genius kind of people. And then before they disappeared, they left this cipher for the people of the city to figure out, and it's supposed to lead to some great treasure. Now 160 years into the future to present day, we have another set of twins actually named after the Morningstar twins, and their building that they live in is being taken, or it was sold by the city to this developer, and they're having to move out in 30 days. And the twins, as well as another kid on their floor, have decided they're going to figure out this cipher. Even though people haven't been able to figure it out for 160 years, they're going to do it in hopes that they can get this treasure to save their building. It's really cute, and I'm on page 102 of this. This is actually what I was reading when I couldn't stay awake last night because I was so tired. But I have completed 4, and I've started 3, but I need to have completed 6 this week, so I'm kind of 2 behind. So next week, I guess I'm gonna aim at trying to complete 8 so I can catch up. We'll see if I can do that or not. Yeah, I'm actually gonna start the next vlog. Oops, sorry, Sasha. I just smacked her in the head. I'm gonna start the next vlog as soon as this one's over. But Sasha wanted to come and say hi and say bye. Say bye to the camera. Look, Sasha. She's like, why are you holding me like this? Here, that's good. There you go. Oh, here comes Katniss. She's jealous. She just woke up. Say hi. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!